All right, so a comfortable cross-legged seat, or another version of sitting if you like to sit on your heels better, that's fine too. Let your hands rest in your lap. Take a moment to just find your center, that point where the spine is suspended right over the back of the hips. You're sitting evenly through the left and the right side of the pelvis. And the shoulders draw down and back away from the ears. Gently close your eyes or take a downward gaze. And try and visualize your spinal column. We have those three beautiful curves in the spine. Got the concave curve in the lower back, slightly convex in the upper back, and then concave again in the neck. So kind of like a wave all the way down from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Notice your physical state this morning, your energy level, or areas in the body that you're really aware of for some reason. Notice if there are areas in the body that feel held or tense today, or areas in the body that feel really open and really free. And start to notice the rise and fall of your own breath. Tuning into both the sound and the sensation of the air. Start to breathe more deeply from a lower place in the body and fill all the way to the top of the lungs before you exhale. We're just going to start a little warm up for the spine. You can open your eyes or keep them closed, whatever you like. We're just going to start circling the upper body. So lean to the right and then forward to the left and back. So imagining that your whole spine is moving as widely around as you can, but the head is staying suspended over the spine. So the head is relatively still. Movement starts from the waist, and the head goes where the spine goes. And this motion is really fluid. It doesn't matter how fast or slowly you go, so find a speed that feels fluid and uninterrupted. Maybe your shoulders and arms get involved to help support the spine. Kind of bend my elbows a lot. And then change direction. Swing to the left, front, right, back. And again, just watch that your head stays over the spine. You don't pull the chin forward or back. And then let that motion stop. Bring your hands toward your hip creases and sit tall. And now arch your back as you squeeze your shoulder blades and elbows together, lifting the chest. And now we're going to lift the head, reaching the chin toward the ceiling. And then reach your hands toward your knees. Tuck your chin, round your back, drop back into your pelvis as you spread your shoulder blades apart. Good, again, hands toward the hip creases, arch the back as you squeeze the shoulder blades together, and round the back. So seated spinal waves. Do these a couple more times in each direction. And then come back to neutral. Good. Uncross the legs and plant your feet on the floor about as wide as your mat. You can come off of your support if you sat on something. Take your hands behind your back and drop your knees back and forth from side to side. Starting to warm up the hip joints a little bit. And the next time your knees go to the left, let them stay there. Come off of your right hand and twist to the back of your mat. Spacing the palms apart and really pushing against the floor to twist from your low back up the spine. And you can turn your head. Try and spot that right foot if you can. Really rotate. Okay, keep your left hand on the ground. Inhale and sweep your right arm up, turning your chest toward the ceiling as you lean back gently for a back bend. One more deep breath in. Exhale and return that hand to the floor. And then unwind your twist. Face forward, pick the knees up and drop them to the right. Come off your left hand to twist. Good, push against the mat as you rotate and turn your head to look to the right. Maybe even spotting that left foot over there. Then right hand stays on the floor. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Turn your chest up toward the ceiling as you arch back. One more breath in. And exhale, hand down. And unwind that twist. Good, let's come into table pose on the hands and knees. And we're going to come right into a low lunge. Step your right foot in between the hands and slide your left knee down and back. So let's point the left toes and really press the front of the ankle into the floor. Inhale, rise up to low crescent lunge, sinking down into the hips as you lift up through the spine. The next time you exhale, sweep your hands behind you, clasp the fingers together, and gradually reach the fist back toward your foot, opening the chest. One more breath in. Exhale, release, and come down. Take both hands inside of the right foot and move it over a little. Turn it out at an angle and let it fall away from your shoulder. Move your left hand off of the mat and take your right hand to the inside of the knee and just very gently press it away from you. Not forcing beyond your edge here, but just intensifying the opening a little bit. Good, and then keep that knee pointing out to the side. Let's take a twist. Reach the right arm up and leaning back as you turn the chest toward the ceiling. Good, let's take the right hand back to the floor, left hand on the mat again. Let's just move that foot over even more and then step it back to table. Other side, left foot in between the hands, low lunge. Let's point the right toes and press the front of that ankle into the mat. And then inhale, rise up to a crescent lunge. Low in the hips, but lifting up through the spine. Feel that energy in your lower back. exhale, sweep the hands behind you and clasp the fingers. Roll the shoulders back and reach the fist toward your feet, or toward your foot rather. You can do this with a strap if the arms don't extend comfortably. Good, let's exhale, release, and come down. Take both arms inside the left foot and move it over a little. Turn it out and let the knee fall away from your shoulder. Put your right hand on the floor, off the mat a little, and just gently press the left knee away from you. Palm right at the inside of the knee. And we'll keep the knee wide like that. Raise the left arm and start to twist from your navel, leaning back a little bit as the chest turns toward the ceiling. Good. Exhale, left hand to the floor, right hand on the mat again. Move your left foot over even more, and then step it back to table pose. Good. Let's come into a runner stretch. Right foot in between the hands, and then send your hips back and extend that leg. You may need to adjust a little bit. Feel your right hip drop back in space, and point the toes up toward the ceiling as you try and lengthen that leg, pressing the back of the knee toward the floor. Good. Really lengthen your spine. Think of the flat back position we do from a forward bend. So lengthening from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Good, and release, slide the heel back, put that knee down, other side. Left foot forward, if you can step right into it, go ahead, or you can come from a lunge and then rock back. Heel on the floor, toes pointing up, hips back, upper body extending forward. One more breath in. And exhale, drag the heel back, step out of this. Let's plant the palms shoulder width apart and lift up to downward facing dog. Take a moment to settle in. Feel free to move around or stretch into the pose a little bit. I like pedaling the legs back and forth a few times. And then eventually settle into stillness. Let your neck release and find one focal point to concentrate on as you really press against the palms. One more breath in, look forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, reaching over your head. And exhale, release. Let's take Sun Series A. Inhale, begin. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Deep breath in. Exhale, descend. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 deep breaths here. On an inhalation, look forward. Exhale, feet to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise up, reaching overhead. Exhale, release. Good. Second round. Inhale, begin. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Deep breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. One more breath in, look forward. Exhale, feet to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, mountain pose. One more round. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, descend. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good. Here, let's raise the right leg up. Three-legged dog. Open the hip to the side and bend that knee, dropping the heel toward the hip. Good. Exhale that foot to the floor. Other side. Raise your left leg up. Open the hip to the side and bend the knee. And release. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Good. Take a wide stance on your mat. Separate your feet about as wide as the warrior two pose and bring your hands to the waist. We're going to take a wide-legged forward bend, so nice and strong through the legs. Glide your shoulder blades back. Inhale deeply. Exhale, hips back. Upper body forward as you fold. Place the hands on the floor in between your feet or on blocks if they don't reach. And see if you can feel your hips shift forward in space so you get more into the balls of the feet. And if your head touches the ground easily, maybe challenge yourself by taking the feet a tiny bit closer together. And vice versa. If you feel like you're restricted, try taking a wider stance in the pose. Good. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Walk your hands forward to the flat back position. So from here, we're going to shift over to the left side of the mat, bend into that knee, and drop down into the hips as you straighten the right leg. So kind of like in a single leg squat with the other leg extended. Good, and then let's come back up, and then bend the right knee, shift down into the hip as you straighten the left leg. So do this back and forth, fluidly going from side to side, dropping into one hip as you straighten the other leg. And find a fluid motion that works for you. Make sure you're breathing consistently. And you can kind of just get creative with what you do in your upper body, whatever helps you get from right to left. I kind of like walk my hands over. You can do what works for you. Good. The next time you go to your right side, let's stay down there. Drop your right shoulder so it touches at the knee. Open that arm out to the side, and then lean back as you raise your left arm. Continuing to press the left heel into the floor. Good. Exhale, hand back. Do that motion to get you over to your left side. Good. Straightening the right leg, left shoulder to the left knee, arm out to the side, and lean back as you reach up. Good. Release. Slowly take it back to the center and lift your hips. Find that original stance, the wide-legged forward bend. Let's find the flat back here, nice and long through your spine. Hold that as you bring the hands to the waist, and then press your hips forward to stand upright. Good, let's point the right foot forward, angle the left heel back, open the arms, and we're gonna upper body forward and pivot the arms. Use the floor, your ankle or your shin for the right hand as you reach the left hand up. Good, strong through the legs. Start to rotate your left rib cage back in space, maybe looking up toward your left thumb. Good, engage your core and lift yourself back up. And then let's bend the right knee for warrior two. If you need to adjust the feet, go ahead if they weren't quite the distance you need. Nice and low in that front leg, and actively reaching through the arms and your back leg. Good, inhale, straighten the leg, release the arms, and let's just pivot the feet. So rotate the right toes in, point the left toes to the other side of your mat, and we'll come to triangle. Open the arms, hips back, lean forward, and then change the arms. Left arm down, right arm up. Good, slow, deep breath. Start to rotate the right rib cage back, maybe looking up to your right thumb. Good, inhale, lift back up. Exhale, bend deeply into your left knee for warrior two. Adjust the feet if you need to, reaching those arms and the back leg actively. Good, inhale, straighten the front leg, release the arms. Pivot that foot in and then just toe heel the feet until you can stand upright. Good, we're gonna come into a standing balance, our standing pigeon pose. So the feet are hip width apart here. Bend the knees slightly. Bring your right ankle to your left thigh and press that knee away from your face. Palms together in front of the heart. Lean your hips back and your upper body forward. Keeping your spine long. And then start to bend deeper into your standing leg. Bring the upper body toward the crossed leg. Good, find one focal point here to concentrate on. If your upper body is comfortably touching the crossed leg, let's try and take a forward bend. Place your palms down and drop the head. Good, hands back to the heart, steady balance. Slowly rise up. Good, uncross the ankle, release the arms. Maybe shake out the hips a little bit. Good, nice job. Let's try the other side. Feet hip width apart, bend the knees. Cross your left ankle to your right thigh. Maybe help keep it in place. Hands to your heart, hips back, upper body forward. Just feeling that stretch come into the left hip. And then start to bend more into your right leg. Bring the upper body closer to your crossed leg. If you are touching the crossed leg, it's forward bend. Palms down, drop your head. Bring the nose toward the right knee. Good, hands back together in front of your heart. Slowly rise up and uncross the leg. Good, shake it out a little bit. All right, let's separate the feet a little wider apart than hip width. Point both toes out to the side slightly, and let's lower down for a squat. You can adjust the feet if you need to, either closer or wider. Elbows together, or elbows, excuse me, at the inner knees, palms together. And lift up through the spine. See if you can feel the pose move toward the heels. If they're not touching the floor, that's okay. It depends on your ankle mobility. But if they are on the floor, try and really sit into them. Bring your tailbone down as you lift your spine up. Good. Release your hands and round your spine. We're going to bring the left shoulder to the inside of the knee like we did before. Sweep that arm out to the side. And again, lean back and reach the right arm up. Now doing this pose in our full squat. Good. And then totally optional to bind here. If you're comfortable with that, your bottom arm rotates and wraps around the leg. Then the top arm wraps around and the hands connect. Good. Come out of the bind slowly if you're there. And if you need a break from the squat before the other side, feel free to come out of it. You can go to a forward bend, take a break if you need. If you're comfortable being here, we're going to go to the other side. Right shoulder to the right knee, sweep that arm out, lean into that contact point as you rotate and reach your left arm up. And then optional bind. Bottom arm rotates first, wraps around the leg, then the top arm wraps around, maybe connect the fingers. Good. If you're in that bind, gradually release it, and then we'll take the hand to the floor, both hands centered in front of you. Slowly lift your hips and come to a forward fold. Toe heel your feet closer together, about hip width apart, and just hang over your legs. Let's hold on to the elbows. Gently sway your upper body side to side like a pendulum. And you can let that motion stop. And from where you are on your mat, you may need to rotate if you are facing the direction I'm facing. Let's just walk it out to downward facing dog. Good. Press strongly against the palms. Really lengthen the spine as you extend the shoulders. And exhale, bring the knees to the floor. Let's take a resting child's pose. You can take either wide knees or have them touch, arms forward or wrapped around the legs. Close your eyes for a few moments. And just let your body melt into the shape. Notice how you feel right now. Good. All right, from here, lift yourself up to a kneeling position. And I'm going to face forward again because we're going to use the space to the side of the mat. So we're going to work on gate pose. So kneeling with the hips over the knees, let's just step the left leg out to the side and let that foot be firmly on the mat. Right hip still in line over the knee. Inhale and raise your right arm up. Exhale, side bend as you walk the hand down the straight leg and reach your right arm over your face. Good. Tuck through your tailbone and press your hips forward to help with this psoas stretch, but also to prevent any overarching in the lower back. We don't want to be compressing the lumbar vertebra, or the discs, I should say. Good, turn the upper body down and try and reach the left foot with the hand. If you can't reach the foot, use whatever part of the ankle or shin you can get to and really drop down. You should feel a big, long stretch down the right side of your lower back. Good, slowly lift up, press the hips forward and return to the first position. And then lift all the way back up and release. Good, step that knee back in. Other side, right leg out to the side, sole of the foot connected to the floor. Good, right hand to the leg, left arm up. Exhale, start your side bend, leaning over, walking the hand down the leg, left arm over your face. Good, tuck your tailbone, pressing the hips forward so that you're not sinking into the arch of your lower back. Good, look over at your right foot. We're gonna start to turn the rib cage down and try and reach for the foot with the hand or wherever you can get to on the leg as you fold down. Good, let's slowly rotate the rib cage, press the hips forward and return to gate. And then lift yourself back up. Good, and release. All right, let's come back to downward facing dog from here. Hopefully the side body feels nice and long here. And on your next breath in, let's raise the right leg up. Look forward, exhale, bring that knee in between the hands for pigeon. Slide your right leg back and open, or excuse me, your left leg. Open your right knee out to about a 2 o'clock angle. Good, take your time to settle down into the hips, and then when you're ready, walk your upper body forward and fold. Let your shoulders relax, and close your eyes if you like. And if you're feeling really tight in the right hip, you can certainly support the pose by putting a folded blanket underneath the right hip or a soft block if you have it. Count to yourself 10 more slow breaths here. Nice long hold for pigeon pose. And once you reach 10 breaths, let's open the eyes, lift yourself upright. We're going to stay in the upright version of the pose for a moment, taking a little back bend. So see if you can take your hands outside of the front leg, up on the fingertips, or you can use blocks if this isn't comfortable. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and down the back. And now start to lift your chest, kind of puffing forward like a pigeon, gently arching the upper back. Good, exhale, lean forward, plant your palms, release. Good, walk your back knee in a little bit and then push back to down dog. In down dog, it might feel good to pedal the legs a few times, really rocking side to side into each hip. Just letting that pose release from the legs. And then we'll switch, raise your left leg up, Pull the knee in and place it in between the hands. Slide your right leg back. Open the left knee to a 10 o'clock angle if you can. Slide back a little more. And then come forward and down when you're ready. Take your time. You can pause at any point. If coming to the floor is too intense, you can support with your elbows or with the head on blocks instead of the mat. Do what feels good in your body. And then close your eyes. Let yourself settle into this shape for 10 slow breaths. And once you've made it to 10 breaths, let's open the eyes and lift up. Good. Come up on the fingertips, taking your hands outside of the front leg if possible. Good. Squeeze your shoulder blades back and down and start to push against the floor and lift your chest and rib cage up as you arch the upper back. On an exhalation breath, lean forward, put the palms down. Walk that back knee in and put it down dog one last time. In your down dog, alternate bending each knee a few times, rocking side to side in your hips. Good, and bring the knees to the floor. Good, let's have a seat. And we're gonna take a wide-legged forward fold. So if the hips or the hamstrings are a little tight, you might wanna elevate your hips for this pose if you have something. I'm gonna sit up on my blanket. So we'll take the legs open out to the side. And you can kind of help get yourself a little wider. I put one hand forward, one hand back, and adjust. Good, and start just by sitting tall. Flex the front of the feet, pointing the toes up, and push forward out the heels, trying to get the back of the legs down toward the mat. Good, feel strong energy through your lower back as you lift up through the spine. Deep, steady breath. And then we're just gonna start to rock a little bit. So leaning the upper body forward and back without bending the lower back. So keep that support for the spine by engaging those lumbar muscles. So little by little, as you rock forward, you should feel a deeper stretch here in the inner thighs. Just warming up for the full fold. Maybe the next time you go forward, stay there and start to walk your hands out. Gently draw the chin toward the chest. And take your time here, letting the pose gradually deepen with the breath if that's available in your body this morning. Try and keep the active energy in your legs. you're ready to come out, inhale and lift yourself upright. We're going to stay here with the legs. Take your left hand somewhere on the left leg, raise your right arm up, and then side bend, just like gate pose, sliding the hand down the leg. You may want to bend into that elbow as you reach the right arm over your face. Good, inhale, lift up. Other side, right hand down, left arm up. Start to lean over to the side, sliding the hand down, maybe bend the elbow if you can, as you reach the left arm over your face. Good, inhale, lift back up. Take your hands behind your knees, lean back a little bit just to help drag the heels back together. Good, all right. Let's come down onto the back from here. Take your time. And we're gonna come into bridge pose. Bend your knees, bring the heels close to the hips, arms down alongside your body. Roll the shoulder blades closer together and lift your hips and your rib cage as high as you can. Last breath in and exhale, roll down, separate your shoulder blades and take a few breaths here to rest. And when you're ready for one more bridge, gather the shoulder blades closer together and lift yourself up. This time, if you're able to, clasp the hands together underneath you and bring the shoulder blades closer together again, getting even more lift up through rib cage and chest. Take 5 more breaths. And then exhale, roll down, separate the arms, and let your back and hips rest on the mat. Let's open the arms out to the side in a T position. Separate your feet as wide as your yoga mat and drop the knees back and forth from side to side, rotating the hips as you loosen the lower back. Good, and then lift your knees up. We'll bring the knees together and hug them into the chest. Rock a little bit side to side and massage your lower back. And then rock the knees around in a big circle a few times to massage the sacrum. Change direction of that circle. Good, and then you can stop Plant the feet on the floor. Cross your right ankle to your left thigh for reclined pigeon pose, pressing that knee away from you. And then bring the legs in and reach through the space to hold your left hamstring. Drawing the left knee toward you as you keep pressing the right knee away. If it feels good, you can rock side to side here. Again, just massaging the low back. And let go of the left leg and switch sides. Left ankle to the right thigh. Press the left knee away from your face. And then bring the right leg in. Reach through the gap and hold the hamstring. Bring the right leg toward you. Still trying to press the left knee away. A little bit of rocking if that feels good too. Good, and release. We're going to cross the right thigh tightly over the left thigh now, taking the eagle leg variation of a spinal twist. Open the arms out to the sides, move your hips over to the right a little bit, and then drop your legs to the left. And if you can, do that little toe hook. The right toes hook behind the left ankle as the knees drop down. Just nice and easy here. You can turn your head to the right or face the nose up toward the ceiling, whatever is comfortable for your neck. Good. Close your eyes here and take at least 5 more slow breaths. And when you're ready to release, slowly roll your back, lifting the knees, uncross the right thigh, and adjust your hips so they feel centered below the shoulders. And just pause here for a moment to let your spine relax. And when you're ready for the other side, cross your left thigh tightly over your right thigh, and then slide your hips to the left a little bit. Drop your knees over to the right, and see if you can hook the left toes behind the right ankle. Good, nice slow breath. Just taking your time, not forcing the knees down, but just letting them fall. And if there's any discomfort in your knees, if you feel any pulling on the inside of either knee, then don't worry about this toe hook. Undo that and just let the thighs be crossed. When you're ready to come out, slowly roll your hips, uncross your thighs, and adjust your hips so they're centered below you. Good, pause there for a moment. Just let your rib cage and your spine settle. Feel the muscles in your back relax. And one final time, bring the knees to the chest, hug the arms around the legs, and just rock a little bit back and forth. And then from here, we'll rest in Shavasana, corpse pose. You can release your legs and let them slide down on the mat. Let your arms relax down by your sides. Make any little adjustments to be more comfortable. And eventually close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. Let your lower jaw relax. Feel your tongue and your throat release. And all of the muscles in your face soften. Let your whole body sink down into the ground. Slowly bring your attention back to the surface and lengthen your breath. And in your own time, begin to move through the fingers and the toes, starting to wake up your body. And take any other movement or stretch that would feel good to you. And eventually roll to one side, curling up into a fetal pose. And just pause there briefly. Notice how you feel right now, how your body responded to this session. And then come upright with as little effort as possible, finding a comfortable seat with your eyes still closed. Come back to your breath, deeply inhaling and deeply exhaling as you sit tall through the spine. And we'll bring the palms together in front of the heart and end chanting Om one time. Take a breath in. Om. Exhale and gently bow your head, acknowledging yourself for making time to practice today and expressing gratitude to your own body. Thank you so much for being here. Hope that you enjoyed this class. Hope that the hips feel nice and open.